I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. This is Movement Fix Monday, and we're going to look at a little sequence of movements you can do to prepare for overhead lifting. The first move that we're going to do is a way to get the upper back prepped for lifting overhead. But first, a little reason why do we want the upper back prepped overhead is, so here's a spine. This is the thoracic spine. The ribs, if my model had ribs, would be like going around like this. And then on the rib cage lies your shoulder blade. If your upper back is rounded like this, then your shoulder blade is going to be tilted downward a little bit, which will appear as a shoulder mobility problem, but it's actually a problem with your back not being able to go into slight extension, which will change the orientation of the shoulder blade, allowing you to lock out better overhead. So what sometimes looks like a shoulder mobility problem may be something else. And so we're gonna work on getting some extension through there first using a cat camel with a thoracic extension bias. And so basically what that looks like is, you guys have probably seen a cat camel before, and I've shown this many times in videos. But if I go here like this and kind of round everything, and then I go here, that's basically a cat camel. But I want to prioritize the movement to be in this thoracic spine. And so in this cat camel, instead of just going everything rounding, everything extending, I want to keep this low back kind of where it is, and then I'm going to think about taking this part of my back toward the ground and then taking the back of my head straight up toward the ceiling, so I mobilize through here, because a lot of times people will just crank through their low back. We want it here so that shoulder blade can tilt up a little bit so that we can get better overhead range of motion. So what that looks like on me is I go here and I keep my low back there. I pull my chest toward the ground, pull the back of my head up toward the ceiling, not doing this, but straight back. You should feel that right between the shoulder blades if you're doing it right. If you don't need this, you probably have a really flexible upper back already, and so you won't feel it there, but you should feel it right between the shoulder blades. So I'm gonna do 10 of those with like a 2-second hold. So it'd be 1, 2, relax, reset, 1, 2, etc. 10 times. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some crossover symmetry bands to get my shoulders prepped and get the muscles of my upper back prepped for actually going up overhead. So rather than just worrying about stretching this, I want to use the muscles that are going to allow me to get overhead so I can activate it that way. One of the things I want to incorporate into the crossover symmetry shoulder prep is getting my trunk, getting my core set. And so before each rep, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers kind of on the side of the abs here, and I'm going to do this little pushing out thing. You see that? That little pushing out. So I'm going to breathe down here, push out, and then I'm going to do the thing with the band. So here's what it looks like. And I'm just going to use 7s, so I'm going to use the purples. And so I'm here, I'm going to breathe down into my stomach, I'm going to push out, and then I'm going to go from here and just go back like this, come back. I'll recheck my stomach to make sure I can do it. So breathe in, push, hold that in here in the stomach so you don't lean back too much. Go with the arms. Etc. So I'm going to do 10 of those. But you really have to pay attention to this, because a lot of times when people lift up overhead, they'll do pressing, and when they go up, they lean back. And so if they can't activate stuff through here, if they don't have good control in their shoulder, or if they have poor core stabilization, they go like this and extend backward in their press, and then their low back hurts after overhead lifting, and they wonder why, and it's because they're not controlling here. So if we can incorporate that into that crossover symmetry thing, then it makes more sense when we're lifting. So now I'm just going to do presses or push presses, whatever you want to do for your overhead lifting work. But I'm going to try to prioritize and get that little breath down into here, and then that little push, and then I'm going to press. So I'll just do a couple. So I'm going to get here, I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to do that little push, and then come up overhead and then back. And maybe I do 3 or 4 or 3 to 5 reps of that, progressing whatever the lift is, some sort of overhead lift. Then I'd go back, instead of resting between sets of lifts, I'm going to go back to the cat camel with the thoracic extension bias. I'll do another set of the crossover symmetry, and then I'll keep building up the press. And that is a great way to take the mobility and movement work and put it and sort of merge it with your strength training work rather than separating them. Because when you separate them, you may not keep what you did in your movement work and apply it into your strength training work if they're so separate. So I try to integrate those two. So go ahead and give that a try. It's gonna be a lot different than just rolling out your back and trying to lift, because we're dealing with active muscle contraction and active position of holding the joints. And so it's gonna be a very different experience. So check that out, try it out. This is Movement Fix Monday. If you haven't already liked the Movement Fix on Facebook, go to facebook.com/the Movement Fix. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram @the Movement Fix. See you next week.